There's a lot of myths going around out there about unions in general and the IBEW in particular, amongst non-union electricians, as you might assume. And I'd like to tackle a few of the big ones here in this video, hopefully clear them up for you. So first and foremost, dues. People talk about dues. You might see me glancing down here. I took the liberty of writing some stuff down because it's a lot to keep track of. We pay dues. We pay dues to the tune of $40.70 a month. That's our counter dues. And we have assessments. Assessments for a journeyman in our local is 4%. Comes out of your check. Recently, we had a proposal from a member to reduce our assessments. We're in charge of how much our assessments are. And overwhelmingly, to the tune of about 4-1, our membership chose to maintain our 4% assessments. We like our 4% assessments. But let's look at what that means for you. So we make $32.44 an hour plus full benefits, our journeymen do. So our health insurance for us and our families free. Retirement is over and above our pay and very generous. So if you take, you say you're working 40-hour weeks, and for easy math, we'll say there's exactly 4 weeks in a month. That's 160 hours in a month worked. So at $32.44 times 160, that's $5,190.40 is what we make gross before any deductions. So if you take our 4% assessments off of that, that knocks that $5,190.40 down to $4,982.78. And then you take off our $40.70 counter dues, and that reduces our monthly pre-tax down to $4,942.08. That's after dues, after assessments, 40-hour weeks, 4-week month. If you're a non-union journeyman in this area, a very common rate I hear people saying they're making is $26 an hour. So take the same 160-hour month, 26 times 160, 4,160. It's already not looking very good for you. But if you contribute 4% out of your check into a 401k, well, that'll reduce that 4,160 down to $3,993.60. If you are paying, say, $50 a week for health insurance for you and your family, it could be all over the map. I've heard 50 a lot. So that reduces you down to $3,793.60. So remember, we were at $4,942.08 out the door after dues and assessments, and $26 an hour journeyman, non-union, working 40-hour weeks, paying 4% into a 401k, paying $50 a week for health insurance, is making $3,793.60 after all that. So the difference is $1,148.48 a month. That's what you are paying in non-union dues. That's certainly more than your car payment, unless you're driving a Bentley. That might approach or exceed your housing costs. That's what you're paying in non-union dues compared to what we pay out the door in our dues and assessments. So that's dues. I think the only people that bring up dues are people that haven't thought about it too hard. Layoffs. Layoffs happen. Layoffs happen in the union world. Layoffs happen in the non-union world. I was speaking to a guy once, a non-union electrician. He said he worked at a 12-man shop. He said over the years, he's seen 100 people come and go from his shop. And then in the same breath, he asked me why union guys are laid off so much. I told him, it sounds like you've seen a lot of layoffs in your shop. You just might not call them layoffs. In the non-union world, they might drum up reasons to fire you. They might put you in a position where you feel like it's best for you to quit. And in very rare circumstances, they might give you a pink slip that says reduction in force. Because if they give you the pink slip that says reduction in force, you can file unemployment on them. So that is very rare in the non-union world, but there's a lot of turnover. There's a lot of churn in non-union shops. In the union world, when it's time for a layoff, they lay you off. If your contractor doesn't have work for you to do, you're going to get a reduction in force. You come down to the union hall, you sign the out of work book, we'll get you another job. I've been working in the union hall for about 3 years, a little more than 3 years. In that period, there has not been a 30-day span where any journeyman signing the book couldn't have gotten out to work within that 30 days. That's not to say that every journeyman who signed our book did take a call in a 30-day period, but they could have. And even in our slowest period, our neighboring locals were booming. So some of them at least. So if you were of a mind to, you could have gone to one of our neighboring locals, signed the book, and not skipped a beat. Not missed one day of work. So unemployment in a union journeyman's life right now is somewhat of a non-issue. We've had rough times in the past, as have the non-union sector. I can honestly say I've been topped out since 2011. Anytime I've been out of work for more than 2 weeks, that was by choice. And anytime I've been out more than about 100 miles from Richmond, that was by choice. I could have gotten a job within 2 weeks, within 100 miles of Richmond, at any point since I've been a journeyman. That's just the truth of my lived experience. Some of you who may not know me might think, well, Walt just, does what is necessary to keep a job, whatever that might be. Well, anyone who knows me will vouch that ain't the case. I've had dozens of employers since I've been a journeyman. You just got to go get a job, and that's what I've done. It's simple enough. That segues nicely into another myth I've heard non-union guys say. If I'm in the IBEW, I'm going to be made to travel. I'm going to be traveling all the time. That's just simply not the case. There's never a time in the career of an IBEW electrician where somebody comes, taps you on the shoulder and says, brother, now you have to go travel. I would guess the majority of the members of IBEW Local 666 have never traveled. And I would also guess if you exclude just neighboring locals around Local 666, then that would become the overwhelming majority of our membership have never traveled. And that's fine. You don't have to travel. Traveling's not for everybody. But if you want to travel, it's an option that's there for you. We have credentials that actually carry weight. You can walk into any union hall, show them your dues receipt, says IBEW Journeyman on it, and there's no questions asked. You can sign their book, and if they, when your number comes up, if they need people, they send you out to work at their locally negotiated journeyman wages and benefits. We make it seamless for your benefits when you are traveling to come back to your home benefits package, so you don't have to worry about rolling over retirements or unenrolling in a medical plan and re-enrolling in this plan. It's all seamless. It's not for everyone, but if you put a little thought into it, you can see pretty quick how you can make a pile of money traveling if that's something you want to do. But it's not required. It never has been, never will be required of an IBEW journeyman to travel. Politics. I hear people say, if I join the IBEW, they're going to take my dues money and they're going to donate it to politicians and political causes that I disagree with. Absolutely not true. The IBEW only cares about one cause politically, and that is the lives of electricians. Period. That's the only cause we care about. If we think a politician will be good for electricians, we will support that politician. If we think a politician will be bad for electricians, we won't support that politician. We send out questionnaires to everybody that's running for office at the local, state, and national level. Based on the responses we receive to those questionnaires, we make a determination as to who we're going to support. Roughly half the politicians we send questionnaires to don't even bother to return them. So that's not a good first step in gaining our support. If there's a politician out there who you like, who does not receive our support, maybe you should contact them and ask them if they even bothered to return our questionnaire. Just in the short time period I've been working in the union hall at the state level, we've been able to get, among many other things, PLAs allowed at the state and local level on some jobs, and a prevailing wage allowed at the state and local level on some jobs. That's huge, and that's not a benefit that's just to union members. That's a benefit to whatever contractor, to the employees of whatever contractor gets those jobs. Nothing that we're doing would make it to where only a union contractor could ever get a project. We're just trying to set standards for specifically electricians, but workers in general as well, on wages, benefits, and conditions, because we're looking out for the working people of Richmond and Virginia and the country. We do that through our political activities, and that's not something that I feel we need to apologize for. The money we use for our political activities doesn't come from the general fund of the local. It doesn't come from dues and assessments. It comes from our political action committee. Our political action committee is funded solely by voluntary donations from IBEW members. Anyone who wants to may donate to it, and anyone who doesn't want to doesn't have to. And you can ask anybody in our local. There's no arm twisting to donate to our political action committee. We appreciate it if you do, and we get good things done for you through that political action committee. But it doesn't come out of your dues, and it's entirely voluntary. So I hope I've been able to answer some questions and address some myths that are out there with this video. If you have other questions, if you're hearing other things about unions or the IBEW that just don't sound right, let me know. I'll always be open and honest with you. You can comment under this video. You can private message me. You can email me, call me, text me anytime. And as always, if you're ready to make the jump and join the IBEW, get in contact with me and we'll make it happen.